With just a budget of 320 Kenya shillings, is it worth getting yourself a Nissan Note? I'll be taking you through this discussion, and I'm your host. My name is Willie, and of course, welcome to this channel whereby we get to talk about cars. Generally, we get to talk about why some of the cars they're much are preferred by people, especially here in Kenya, while some they get to face that challenge being accepted in this car industry. So I'll be taking you through all those features, and of course, if that is something which gets to interest you, please just go ahead. You get to consider being part of this community, and you can get to do that by just hitting the subscribe button. And of course, for this particular episode, remember we'll be discussing entirely from inside at the exterior of Nissan Note, and this particular one it's a 2007 version. So we'll be looking into details, what makes it exceptional, as well as we'll be looking into why is the market value of this car particularly going for 320 Kenya shillings. And of course, if you have a budget and you're looking for a car to serve you, this car that we'll be discussing today is being put up on sale as we speak. It's already on sale. So if you're interested, I'll be dropping the contact to the owner so that you can get to, of course, if you're interested, you can get to make arrangement with the owner for maybe for site visiting, as well as, of course, to view the car, and as well as if you really need to confirm more details about the car, you can get to do freely directly to the owner. So all the details I'll be attaching them in the description section. So also another important thing to know, guys, if if you have experience with Nissan Note, just go ahead, talk to me on the comment section. I would really appreciate hearing your thought as much as so that you can get to educate and of course get to inform more people who could be looking forward to get this particular car. So having said that, guys, let's just go ahead. We get to dive into the main segment. With this particular segment, I remember we are talking about a Nissan Note 2007. So we'll be looking into different features from the interior, exterior, to the engine, of course, the motor which is powering this car. We'll be looking into different factors that makes it exceptional and why so many people could consider buying this car, and of course some of the challenges that they are related to this car. All that we'll be looking in this particular main segments. Let's just go ahead and get to look into the specific features which make the Nissan Note 2007 exceptional, and of course being considered and so many people prefer owning it. So let's just go ahead. We'll be starting with the first segment, which is we'll be looking into the engine. The engine. With the Nissan Note is usually powered by the HR15DE petrol engine, this particular version that we are talking about. But it's also important for you to know there are also other versions made. We also have the diesel version, but this particular one, we are talking about the petrol version. So it has a HR15DE engine. And of course, with the engine capacity, we have the 1400, we also have the 1.5 liter, as well as we have the 1.6 liter petrol engine in terms of the capacity. But for today, we are looking at the 1500 cc engine capacity. And also another important thing to note is that with this engine series, we had also another variety which was I will be talking about later. But I want us to get to really get to understand this particular the HR15DE engine, and of course what makes it gets to stand out. So with this engine, it has an inline four-cylinder that is engine, and of course apart from that, it has a DOHC, which is called the double overhead camshaft petrol engine. And what that means, it has two camshafts. So what the advantage that comes with the double overhead camshaft? Remember, it has, as the name goes, it has double camshafts, as well as these camshafts, they are usually placed on top of the engine. And of course, some advantages that comes with that. One of which is that having double camshafts, one of the camshafts is used to pump in fresh air into the engine, while the other camshaft is used to push out the exhaust a gas out of the engine. So with those two combination, it really gets to help the engine to have some small combustion as well as easy airflow into the engine, which gets to translate to the engine having good combustion. And of course, this translates to more power being emitted from the engine. So also another important thing also to know is that this engine capacity, that is particularly the 1.5 liter engine, gets to give out around 105 to 110 horsepower, which is a very huge amount considering the body of this car, which is just a hatchback. That's a lot of power being pumped into this car, and of course, it gets to help the car, of course, gets to catch up to speed and of course speed up very fast. So that's something that you really need to understand about that engine. So what are the advantages that comes with the double overhead camshaft engine? First of all, as I said, easy combustion, easy airflow into the engine, which results to more power. But all that comes with also some disadvantages, and that's what I want us to get to look into right now. And of course, as compared to the single overhead camshaft engine, which were the predecessors, the double overhead camshaft engines, they usually get to require more attention, and of course if you get to neglect them, you might end up being having to spend more when it comes to repair as well as when it comes to services. So there's some extra cost that comes with the double overhead camshaft. So that's generally what you need to know about this engine. In terms of giving you service, this is an engine which can really get to serve you, especially if you're a person who really gets to give it the attention when it comes to changing the oil, giving it service generally. So in terms of I mean the fuel consumption, this engine is also very economical, and that's the reason why it is usually considered and of course liked by many people, especially people there who are still in the process of pushing themselves into the next level. These are cars that we could consider purchasing. So apart from the engine, let's just go ahead and get to look into the other features which gets to add up to the aura of this car. And of course, I want us to get to look into the interior. First of all, the dashboard comes, it's a very simple dashboard. It doesn't have so much luxuries, but it gets the job done. First of all, it has a very simple infotainment system whereby it comes with the AM and the FM radio, which gets to get the job done. Of course, it also gets to come with the weather conditioner. We have the AC conditioner, which gets to help to regulate the temperature into the car. Apart from that, if you get to look at the dashboard, the steering, of course, is powered, meaning it really gets to help you to have an easy time when it comes to cruising. So you can really get to turn the steering with minimum or even almost no struggle. So that's also an advantage that you really need to know. When it comes to the windows, the interior of this car, for the windows, they're usually electric powered, meaning in most cases you just be pressing a button, and of course the windows can be lowered, and of course they can also go up, which is also a very unique feature about the Nissan Note 2007. So apart from that, we also have things like you can get to have some upgrades if you want to change the default infotainment system that comes with the car. You can just go ahead, you get to add some upgrades. Maybe you get to add a touch screen. Also, another important thing also to know is the seats, of course. This one is usually it's a five door, meaning it has four doors on the side, and of course we have the boot, meaning it's a five door car, and of course it's a hatchback, meaning the tail is usually flat, meaning it has a boot which gets to go from the roof all the way down there. It's a hatchback. So with the seats, the factory standard, they usually gets to come with cloth or fabric upholstery. So, but there are people who go an extra mile to add some leather, but those are all aftermarket upgrades that you can get to do with your own convenience. But this particular one, it has some cloth or fabric upholstery. So, it's also important to know that this is a simple car. It doesn't get to push luxury to the next level. I'm talking about things like heated seats. It doesn't get to give you all that. So, it's something it's important for you to know all that. In terms of the boot space, remember the rear seats, they can be slight, meaning you can get to lower them, and of course you have more boot space, which is important, especially if you're going to Shago. If you have a lot of luggages, you can have the seats, the back seat, of course, as lowered, and of course you just go ahead, you get to have more, more and more space. In terms of the headroom, also the cabin is it's high enough to give you enough headroom, as well as for people who they might stay in the back seat, they have enough legroom, which is very very crucial, especially if you're traveling long distance. That comfortability, it's an added advantage. So it's important for you to understand about that. So let's just go ahead and go and we get to look into the external features of this car. Well, with the Nissan Note 2007, it's important for you to understand the standard factory wheel set that comes with this car is usually 15 inches, but some people they get to do customization, they get to either change to 15, I mean to 14 or even 16-inch, but the standard is usually 15 inches, which is to give the car good ground clearance space, meaning the car can go anywhere, maybe off road, maybe on a small area. The car has good enough clearing space, especially here in Africa. That's a factor also to consider. Remember, we are still in the third world country whereby we are still pushing things to the next level. We are building roads, so most of the road we might be going to Maram roads, and the good ground clearance is very very important. So it's important for you also to have that in mind. It comes with 15-inch wheel size. Some they could be come with metal plates, that is rims. Some they come with the alloy rims, but the variety they usually gets to vary with the, of course, with the series. So when it comes to the front part, meaning the face of the car, it has two big headlamps, which are very very important, especially if you're cruising at night. You need to have that clear sight on where you're heading, and of course, that's an advantage that comes with Nissan Note. It has two big headlights. So with these headlights, they also attach some turning headlamps. The signals they're just below the tip of that big headlamps. Because as I said, if you're looking to get a Nissan Note, you have this one which is being sold at the moment. You can just go ahead, you get to check it out, talk to the owner directly. Remember, I said the contact there in the description section, as well as if you're looking, guys, to get more updates on cars that they are being set up on sale, just go ahead to get to join my TikTok account as well as my WhatsApp group. It's very very important for you to be part of that community. So if you're looking about to get this car, let me know if they could have missed any information. Talk to me on the comment section, and I would really really appreciate. See you in the next episode. Peace, guys.